These are brand new U.S. passports rolling off the assembly line. At first glance, they may seem like small, ordinary booklets, the kind of thing you slip into a travel bag and only think about when you're heading to the airport. But in reality, they are among the most sophisticated security devices manufactured anywhere in the world. Every passport is a carefully engineered blend of art material, science, data security, and anti-counterfeit technology. It is designed to do two things at once: make international travel easier for legitimate citizens and make life much harder for criminals trying to exploit the system. That matters more than most people realize. Fraudulent passports have long been used in crimes ranging from identity theft and illegal border crossings to human trafficking, smuggling, financial fraud, and organized crime. So how did this humble travel booklet evolve into one of the most advanced tools in the fight against document fraud? The answer begins with something surprisingly simple: the blank pages you're looking at. Except they are not really paper at all. Modern next-generation U.S. passports, including the ones first produced by the U.S. Government Publishing Office in 2021, rely heavily on polycarbonate rather than traditional paper stock. That alone changes everything. Polycarbonate is a durable plastic material that can withstand wear temperature shifts and tampering far better than ordinary paper. It forms the base of many of the passport's most important security features. The manufacturing process begins with sheets of this material. Polycarbonate is typically made through a chemical process involving bisphenol A, sodium hydroxide, diphenyl carbonate, and organic solvents with ethanol often used in the finishing stage to help form the final solid polymer. To most people, that sounds like abstract chemistry. But inside a passport, that chemistry becomes security. And there is something else hidden inside those sheets. If you looked closely enough, you might notice tiny strands embedded in the material's small fibers that look almost like hairs. They are unusual enough that the U.S. State Department has even addressed them publicly as a frequently asked question. People sometimes see them in their passport and wonder whether something went wrong during production. In fact, those fibers are supposed to be there. They are part of the document's built-in protection system. These are known as orbit fibers, and they are randomly distributed throughout the polycarbonate during manufacturing. Because they are embedded into the material before the sheets are completed, no two passport pages end up exactly alike. That randomness is extremely valuable. It gives every document a subtle, unique texture and appearance that counterfeiters would find very difficult to reproduce. In other words, before the passport is even cut, printed, or personalized, the anti-fraud process has already begun. But no one is carrying around giant factory sheets of polycarbonate in their pocket. Those raw sheets have to be transformed into the familiar booklet format, and that is where the heat comes in. To create the correct dimensions, the material undergoes a process known as thermoforming. A standard U.S. passport has precise physical requirements measuring about 5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall when closed. Shaping the material to those exact dimensions is not a casual trim job. It involves high temperatures that can climb to around 500 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat helps the polycarbonate become workable without compromising its structural strength. Once individual passport components reach the correct size, multiple polycarbonate layers are fused together through lamination. This is another crucial step. The passport is not just printed on the surface like a simple booklet. It is built in layers, almost like a highly secure sandwich of materials. Lamination temperatures typically range from around 250 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And during this stage, many important security elements are sealed inside the document itself. Some of the most visually striking features are integrated here. Holographic effects, shimmering overlays, and optically variable elements can be embedded into inner layers while the material is being fused. Still, fibers and holograms are only part of the story. A modern passport needs multiple layers of defense because determined fraudsters are always looking for weaknesses. So the next major security barrier comes in the form of ink. The passport is printed using offset printing, a process that transfers images and text onto sheets through inked metal plates. But the ink used here is far from ordinary. On some passport pages, the ink changes color depending on the angle of the light or the way the page is tilted. To the average traveler, that may just look impressive. To a border officer, it is a fast and useful authenticity check. And then there are the things you cannot see at all. Certain inks used in passports react under ultraviolet and infrared light. Under normal viewing conditions, these elements remain invisible or subdued. But when customs officers inspect the document using specialized equipment, different glowing patterns and hidden features can appear. Since these inks are extremely difficult for criminals to acquire, and even more difficult to apply correctly, they provide another powerful way to separate genuine passports from fake ones. By this point, the passport already sounds complicated. But the design goes even deeper. Inside the passport, typography itself becomes a security tool. U.S. Passports use special fonts including OCRB, a typeface, developed to be machine-readable while still usable by humans. This helps automated systems scan documents accurately, especially in airports and border control points. But beyond readability, the document also includes intentionally fraud-resistant details such as tiny bleeds edge effects and micro-irregularities that are difficult for counterfeiters to replicate cleanly. Then the scale gets even smaller. Just like US, currency passports use microprinting, extremely small printed words and patterns that often cannot be read clearly without magnification. To a normal eye, these lines may look like decoration or fine shading. But under magnification, they reveal actual text. This is effective because most forgers simply do not have access to printing systems capable of producing that level of detail sharply enough to survive close inspection. And even microprinting is not the limit. Modern US passports also contain nanotext lettering so tiny that only a microscope can properly reveal it. These characters are smaller than a human cell and are almost impossible to counterfeit with conventional printing methods. At that point, the passport is operating on a level of detail far beyond what everyday consumers ever notice. It is a reminder that many of the most important security features are not flashy. They are hidden in precision. But a passport is not only meant to be seen. It is also meant to be felt. That gives the government publishing office another opportunity to build in protection. Just like US banknotes, passports can use intaglio printing, a method that creates raised surfaces on certain parts of the document. These textured areas are intentionally tactile. On genuine US passport cards, for example, elements such as the date of birth, certain letters and numbers beneath the portrait, the letters USA, and parts of the Great Seal of the United States should feel raised to the touch. This matters because texture is much harder to fake than appearance alone. A printed imitation might look convincing in a quick glance, but when handled by someone trained to feel for those raised areas, flaws become obvious. The document is designed to pass both visual inspection and physical inspection. Up to this point, every passport follows the same basic manufacturing path. But eventually, each one becomes personal. That transformation happens when the finished document is individualized with the passport holder's information. Your name, date of birth, place of birth, passport number, photograph, and other identifying details are not just printed on casually. They are laser engraved into the polycarbonate data page. This makes the information highly durable and resistant to alteration. Laser engraving on polycarbonate is especially powerful because it does not simply sit on the surface the way ordinary ink might. It becomes integrated into the material itself. Full-color polychromatic images can also be created in polycarbonate under carefully controlled conditions, allowing the portrait and surrounding design elements to become both visually rich and extremely secure. The data used in this personalization process comes from the passport application itself. Applicants submit unobstructed photos and provide their personal identifying information, such as birth details and place of residence. That information is then verified and transferred into the secure production system, so the passport can be matched to the correct person. But even that is not the end of the data story. Inside the passport, another layer of identity technology is embedded: the RFID chip, or radio frequency identification chip. It is small, usually located on the second page near the photo area, and inserted during the lamination process. Because it is embedded while the document is being fused together, it becomes highly durable. Standard RFID chips can survive extreme heat, and more rugged versions can endure even higher temperatures. These chips are incredibly efficient for what they do. A passive RFID tag in a passport can store enough data to support fast verification at border control points. In practice, the chip works as part of a broader secure system. It is associated with records linked to the passport holder's information in protected government databases. When officials scan it, they can compare the data presented by the document with official records and confirm whether the person holding it matches the identity assigned to that passport. This is where the physical and digital worlds merge. The passport is no longer just a booklet. It becomes a secure key into a larger identity verification network. And there is another advantage to using polycarbonate for all of this. Once those layers are fused together, they cannot be separated cleanly. That means embedded features cannot simply be peeled apart, replaced, or altered without destroying the document. This makes tampering far more difficult. A criminal might be able to forge the look of a document from a distance, but modifying the internal structure of a real passport without leaving obvious evidence is a completely different challenge. So how well has this whole security system worked? In other words, the people designing and producing the passport have done their job remarkably well. The weak point often shifts away from the physical booklet and toward the human systems surrounding it. But even the most secure passport is useless if it never reaches the correct person. That brings us to the final operational challenge: delivery. Once completed, passports are packaged, tracked, and shipped with tight oversight. Each one receives a unique tracking number, allowing applicants to monitor the delivery through the U.S. Postal Service. At the same time, the State Department keeps applicants informed through email updates about where their document is in the process. If a passport is delayed beyond the published timeframe, applicants are encouraged to follow up. That communication is not just customer service. It is part of the security system. The more aware and engaged the applicant is, the lower the risk that a passport can disappear, be intercepted, or be misused without anyone noticing quickly. That is also why the government urges people to report lost or stolen passports immediately. The faster a missing passport is flagged, the faster it can be invalidated and watched for misuse. In that sense, the passport holder becomes part of the anti-fraud network too. You paid for the document, you rely on it, and you have a direct interest in ensuring it stays in your possession and under your identity. And that creates an interesting reality. By the time you finally receive your passport in the mail, you are holding much more than a travel booklet. You are holding a dense package of embedded fibers, layered plastics, specialized inks, laser-engraved data machine, readable fonts, microscopic text, tactile printing, holographic elements, and RFID-enabled identity infrastructure. It feels simple in the hand. But technically, it is anything but simple. And yet the race is not over. Security is never static. The moment one generation of document security becomes effective, criminals begin looking for new ways around it. That means governments cannot afford to stop innovating. So what comes next? In some places, the future may involve reducing dependence on the physical passport itself. Take Dubai International Airport, one of the busiest international airports in the world. In some passenger flows, their travelers do not always need to present a passport directly to a customs officer in the traditional way. Instead, advanced camera systems can scan the traveler's face, and iris then compare that biometric information with official records. Biometric verification changes the logic of border control. Instead of asking, "Does this document look real?" the system increasingly asks, "Does this person match the identity on file?" That is a major shift. The United States has not fully replaced passports with iris-based identity systems, but elements of this future are already visible, US. So it may only be a matter of time before more of your biological traits, your face, your fingerprints, your irises, function as the next generation of passport. From a security standpoint, that makes sense. Still, for now, the modern US passport remains one of the most impressive examples of practical security engineering in everyday life. It sits quietly in a pocket, a drawer, or a carry-on bag, usually unnoticed until the moment you need it. But behind that modest appearance is a long chain of chemistry, heat printing, engraving, electronics, data systems, logistics, and fraud prevention strategy. It is the result of decades of design evolution shaped by the constant pressure of global travel, criminal adaptation, and technological change. A passport is one of the few objects most ordinary people carry that is also a frontline security device. It has to be beautiful enough to represent a country, durable enough to survive years of travel, readable enough for machines, verifiable enough for officers, and secure enough to frustrate organized crime. That is a lot to ask from a small booklet. And somehow, page by page, layer by layer, chip by chip, it delivers.